Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who, story number 136, The Caves of Androzani. I think I said that right, I don't even know at this point. Not a surprise, I'm not a big fan. It's 4 episodes, and what's kind of interesting is this is actually considered one of the greatest episodes of classic Who. So, I don't know, it was 2004 or something, they did the poll, and this is considered the greatest episode. This is the episode that won, or the storyline that won. And I don't like the Fifth Doctor. Perry isn't so bad, but I'm not even a big fan of her. Maybe it's because I'm an American and I see her and I'm like, what is that? That's not, I don't know, it bugs me. So overall, the story itself, I drank a lot to get through it, but it is finally the end of the Fifth Doctor. I've said the whole time, I absolutely hate the Fifth Doctor. So I'm super excited for that we're finally through this. This was a rough period for me. And so, he had the line of, I tried to keep a diary once. Yeah, we know, we've seen it, you dumb fuck. So he talks about the celery and how the celery is if it's exposed to certain gases or whatever, it turns purple, which I don't know. I actually don't remember it turning purple. It would have been more interesting if we had actually seen it turn purple. It may have, and I was just out by that point, but I think that would have been more interesting to see it turn purple. The whole thing is something about bats, and they need the milk, but the bats are in the tunnels now, and so they have to go get it. And basically, by the time you get to the end of the story that I don't care about, the Doctor only gets 2 vials of antidote because the Doctor and Perry are both poisoned, and of course he drops one because of dramatic storytelling, and so he gives it to her, and she survives. And then as he's being poisoned, he's like, don't worry, I'm going to regenerate. And we see Tegan again, and as soon as she came on, I was like, oh, fuck. Here we go. We see Turlo again, and I was like, why is this not over yet? Nyssa showed up. I was super happy about that. I liked her. Out of the entire Fifth Doctor, she's the only one I really liked. Adric shows up, which I don't really consider him a Fifth Doctor companion. I consider him a Fourth Doctor companion. And then, of course, the Master shows up, being like, die, bitch! And I'm just like, oh, fuck, why is this a thing now? The whole thing is just rough. So, I don't know. I'm glad it's over. Out of the first 5 Doctors, I promised myself I would never watch the Fifth Doctor again, and then my dumb ass wanted to do these reviews, so I have to do the Fifth Doctor. I can honestly say, as of this point, now that I have done all the reviews, I will never watch the Fifth Doctor again. I absolutely hate the Fifth Doctor so much. He's pretentious. He's an ass. I don't like him. So, glad it's over. I'm super excited that it's over, and we can finally move on to the 6th Doctor of Colin Baker, who shows up at the end, which is not unusual. I mean, Patrick Troughton showed up at the end. They kind of skipped over the 3rd Doctor, and then Tom Baker showed up at the end of the 3rd, and then Peter Davison did show up at the end of the 4th. But what's interesting about this is Colin Baker pops up, and it's okay, so that's the 5th Doctor, got it. And then he talks. We have never seen a Doctor talk before they are the new official Doctor. So that was kind of interesting. Where he even says, he's like, change, my dear, and not a moment too soon. And I'm like, oh, I am fucking right there with you. So that was kind of interesting. Of course, Colin Baker has already been in the show before, and this is one of, maybe not several, this is one of a few times that we see an actor in Doctor Who before he becomes the Doctor. I can think of at least 2 more times that we see this. So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting that they chose Colin Baker. Super excited to watch him. I don't have a lot of memory about it, but, I mean, it can't get any worse. So, from this point on, it can only get better. So, thank you guys for putting up with the Fifth Doctor for me. I know it's been rough because I just, it's me. I don't like it. If you don't like something, you don't like it. And so you can't like suddenly change your mind about it. Who knows? Maybe years from now I'll change my mind. But even now, like different things that Peter Davison has said, like off screen, has really kind of bugged me. Like I'm a big fan of the 13th Doctor for Jodie. And I love how, like, David Tennant's a big fan of Jodie, and then Peter Davison's like, the Doctor needs to be a man! And I'm like, oh, yep, that's why I don't like you. So, okay. So, stuff like that, like, just stands out to me. So, I don't know, we will see him again at least 2 more times off the top of my head, but it is what it is. So, thank you guys for putting up with the Fifth Doctor for me. I know it's been rough listening to me bitch for however many stories, and I will see you guys next time for the Twin Dilemma.